Hey all, good morning. We're live. I'm gonna, give everyone a few minutes. Hey Ice, good to see you. Join in today. We're doing things a little bit differently today. I'm gonna music because I'm like, why is everywhere, why is everyone just what are y'all up to in your house while you're watching me live? Let's chat. So, but welcome, welcome. I see some people joining right now. Thank you for joining. Let me know in the comments where you're joining from, what you're up to right now. Join us. Are you at work? Are you, taking a break? What's up? What's going on? Before we get into the topic, because today's topic is very interesting. I'll talk about fiancé visa. Oh, we're back. Cool. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm checking the comments to see where you're watching me from. I'm in North Carolina. I'm Ivy, the marriage green card lawyer, and I help clients all over the USA to. Oh yeah, we're back on. Right. I think we're having bad connection today, but I'm not sure what's causing it because we don't have any rain. Actually, we have wind. That's right. We've been having a lot of wind. I went out this morning and there was like a whole bunch of debris outside. So I think that's affecting our live today. But regardless, we're going to do it. I'm going to try as much as possible to say what we have to say for today so that if you're watching me at a later time, you can learn about the steps to bring your boyfriend or girlfriend into the USA through a fiancé visa. Okay. My name is Ivy, the marriage green card lawyer. I help couples a lot to file their permanent residency green card. But in that, I always meet people who are engaged or dating before they get married. So they always have questions about what to do first. So that should we get married and do the spousal visa, or should we just, file the fiancé? So that's how I started talking a lot about fiancé visa steps because it flows right into marriage-based green card. Because right after your fiance, your boyfriend, your girlfriend comes into the USA, they're going to move on to your green card application through the marriage, right? So at the end of the day, it ends up becoming a marriage-based green card situation. Forgot about my guys on TikTok, so let me join them in because on TikTok, we're always talking about fiancé visa steps and all that stuff. So let's see if we can join them or they can join us on this live. So yeah. So fiance visa, what is it? So who qualifies? That's the first question. Like, can I bring my boyfriend or my girlfriend? Because not everyone can do it, right? If you're a permanent resident and you're engaged to someone who lives outside the USA, in that most likely have to just go to or some other country, get married, and then do the process from there. But if you're a U.S. citizen and you're dating someone and you're not quite sure if you want to get married, right? Because, I mean, it's not every time. I mean, you might be dating or engaged or whatever, but it doesn't work out, right? That happens a lot. If it doesn't work out, then you don't move on to the marriage green card. You just go back after the 90 days or do something else. There's usually different options or different things I've seen go on. Fiance visa steps. Yeah, I'm getting the guys on TikTok to join us. So let's do that. Okay. So anyway, if you're a U.S. citizen and you're dating someone who lives outside the USA, you're gonna file a fiance visa. So that's the first qualification. You have to be a U.S. citizen because basically permanent residents have to do spousal visa, right? So when you file for your fiance, you file the fiance visa petition. You would have to then show proof of your relationship because obviously you're claiming a relationship. So you're gonna have to show, okay, have I met this person? That's the first question. Have we met? Let's go live on TikTok. So have you met this person in person, first of all, or is it just someone you're talking to on Facebook, right? So that's one thing you have to know. If you're a U.S. citizen, you're talking to someone, you have to first of all meet that person. Hey guys on TikTok, we're here talking about fiance visa steps. So join us and feel free to ask your questions. I have Ice with me today live. Ice baby. She'll help you get the comments through to me on the screen. I'll be able to answer your questions throughout the live. So yeah, let's do it. Let's talk more about this. So how do you do this? So, anyway, fiance visas, US citizens qualify. You're trying to bring your boyfriend or your girlfriend in so that maybe you could get married and based green card so that they can start living permanently in the USA with you, right? So that's the whole point. So the first step, like I was saying, is filing the petition, right? The US citizen is the one that files it. So a lot of times I get questions from the foreign spouse. Right. So every time I get questions from the foreign. How do I visit my fiance? I want to go to America to see my fiance. I'm trying to flip the screen for TikTok viewers, but TikTok is on its own thing right now. But anyway, so yeah, so they're like, how would I join my boyfriend who's a U.S. citizen? And I always ask them about the U.S. citizen because the U.S. citizen has to do the first step. The U.S. citizen has to file the petition for you to, join in the USA, right? It's not going to be the foreign spouse. So if you want to apply for a B1, B2 visa, you don't really need your fiance to do that. You can always file for that, but you may not get approved, right? Because you are dating, you have that intention to come in and potentially get married and all that stuff. So that's why fiance visa comes in. So many times when the foreign boyfriend or girlfriend is asking me about, is asking me about the fiance visa process, they just visit. And if you want to come visit, you have to do something else. Okay, I'm gonna restart the TikTok live because I think we're just having technical difficulties today. If you're just joining, thank you so much for joining. I see more people joining us. today. We're doing things a little bit differently. Here now we have some music going. We're chit chatting. I want to know where you're watching from. I'm having technical difficulties. That's also what's going on today as well. Just because in North Carolina there was some sort of storm or wind or whatever. Because I woke up to like debris outside all over the place, so that's affecting the live. But nonetheless, we're here, and so feel free to ask your questions. I'll be able to give you some guidance during this live, and also feel free to contact me. My phone number is on the screen. You can call, ask your questions if you have any questions about fiance visa, or if your fiance is already here and you want to file the adjustment of status to green card. Okay. All right. Hi guys on TikTok. I'm here, IFE, the marriage green card lawyer. We're talking about fiance visa. Why are we talking about fiance visas? Because that's usually the first step for many people. They go from fiance visa to green card after they get married, right? So fiance visa can lead to your green card after the marriage. So it's going to be a marriage-based green card. That's how you're going to get your green card to live in the USA, work, and, you know, build your family. That's the whole point, right? So step one, U.S. citizen, you file the petition, you provide paperwork to the USCIS, because that burden is on you, right? You're the one inviting your boyfriend or your girlfriend to the burden is on you to show the USCIS that the relationship is real. So you file that, file the petition, prove all of that together. That's part of what you do with a lawyer. If you need to know what documents you need, right? Because every relationship is different. So some people have traveled once or twice. Some people, they do a lot of phone communication. Different couples have different ways that they have communicated and built a relationship. So, right, we need to be able to show that and show that it's not just, you're not just doing this just so that the person can come and get a green card, right? Because that's going to be fraud marriage. And if you have fraud marriage, it's a whole different thing, right? You can get blocked from getting a green card ever. So, right. So after step one, if you're able to successfully show that or the relationship rather is real, because at this time, you're not yet married, you've just been dating, maybe talking, you met on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, I see a lot of couples that really make it through from meeting online, even though to me, I'm always like, how did you end up talking to somebody for like 6-7 years without ever meeting them? And, like, what's the plan? I feel like if you meet someone online and you have a connection, your first step is to try to meet that person so that you can at least see if you need to go further, right? Otherwise, you can spend years just never knowing how this person even reacts to things. Like, go out to a restaurant, see how they're going to respond to the waitress, and things like that. So you never really be able to see that through phone conversations. I met this one girl one time. Well, I didn't meet her, virtual meeting, I guess, because I work with all my clients virtually. Anyway, so, but she told me how she was scared to even change WhatsApp status on top of some man that she hasn't even met. So like, you, like, no. So, but the people really do form those connections. So that's great. But if you want to come into the USA to build a life with your fiance, then you need to go ahead and file a fiance visa. Because the B1, B2 visa is just for a temporary visit. And if you come in and you get married on that type of visa, you can face problems, okay? So then, but let's just say, so you do step one, you get approved, right? The next thing, you move on to step two, which is the actual visa application, right? So the petition is the first step, and then the application for the visa, fiance visa, that K1 visa that we always talk about, is step two. So this part is now for the fiance, for the boyfriend or girlfriend that's outside the USA. So that's your part, right? Step one for the US citizen, step two for the non-US citizen, right? So at that point, you're applying at your embassy for a visa saying, I have an approved fiance visa petition. I have a real relationship. Everything is great, and now it's time for me to get my visa so I can go see my boyfriend or my girlfriend, so we can get married, and voila, that's the whole thing, right? So, but like I said, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes people come to the USA and the person is not what they seem. That's why I'm like, hurry up and do this meeting, or try to meet somewhere else. Like, you don't have to meet in the USA. Meet in a third country, right? So that you can know if this is a person you want to invest that kind of time in. Feel me? So, but luckily it works out in many cases, because I believe that distance is just really not a barrier if you really have a connection with someone. So it works out. You come in, get married, and now it's time to file your visa. Your adjustment of status, your green card, right? So it's several steps, because today we're just talking about the fiance visa, but before you actually get to your green card, you file the fiance visa petition. You apply for the visa, step 2, and then once you're in the USA and you actually get married and have a marriage license, proof of marriage, you then file for your green card. Okay, that's where I come in, right? I also help couples file fiance visa petitions. I mean, it's practically similar situations, because the main ingredient in this whole thing is that you have a bona fide relationship, right? It's a relationship based visa. Okay. All right. So spousal visa, fiance visa, which one should I choose? People always really want to know about that, and it's really honestly up to you, up to the couple, right? It depends on your family situation. Like the timeline wise, it's about the same. So it really doesn't. That would not be the thing that would make you determine. It just depends. Have you been knowing this person for long enough to just marry them and do the spousal visa? Do you want to do the fiance visa first, and have your 90 days to know each other, and so on and so forth, right? You guys watch 90 Day Fiance, so you know how that goes. When you visit, you find out some things about the person. Sometimes it can even be abusive. I mean, just be like, peace out. So try to meet up. If you can't come to the USA, don't make it all about. So if you're dating someone outside the USA, don't make your whole relationship about, I want to come to the USA to see you. Meet somewhere else. Like, there are other countries in the world. So just do that. Let it be about your relationship, because that will really help you in the long run when you want to now finally relocate. Because if the person's a U.S. citizen, I mean, you're bound to relocate, right? I guess that's if you want to live in the USA. So, well, let me see. Some questions are coming in, some comments. Thank you guys for your questions. I'm going to answer some questions now, and then I'm going to move on to some of the requirements. And like I said, if you need any help with this process, you're watching me right now or at a later time. My number is on the screen. You can contact me. I'm Ify, the marriage green card lawyer. Just always ask for Ify, and you'll be able to get some answers to some of your questions, and then possibly we could help you with filing your marriage-based green card. Okay. All right. So question, let me see. My girlfriend is American. She's coming to Ghana next to get married, maybe next year. Okay. I want to know the steps to do. Okay, great. So Nana, thank you for your question. I hope you've been listening, because I've been talking about the steps. The first step, which is for your girlfriend to file the petition, and then the next step is for you to file your visa in Ghana, so you can get your actual visa to come into the USA. Okay. Hope that answers your question. All right, so these are the types of questions I get typically for fiance visas. It's like basically, what are the steps for me to come to the USA to see my fiance? So I'm always like, where's your fiance? Your fiance is the one that has step one. So imagine it being like some type of race or something. You have this baton, and it starts with the U.S. citizen. Okay, the U.S. citizen fiance. When they do their part, they pass it on to you. Boom, and then you do your part, and then you will basically provide your birth certificate, your passport. Make sure you have a passport not about to expire or something like that, because they're going to need to put that visa in that passport. Yeah, and if you have an expired passport, you know, that's a whole nother thing. Okay. All right. So thanks for your question. Next question is from Wanta. I like to always try to say everyone's names because, like I said, I work with clients all over the USA and abroad. So I meet different people with different kinds of names. And, it's very important to pronounce people's names. So if I'm saying your name, if you have any comments about that, you can give me a comment, a shout out. My name is IP. I get a lot of pronunciations for my name, even though it's so simple, but that's a whole nother story. Anyways, Wansa said, what does it mean if your receipt says National Benefits Center for more than 8 months? Okay, so Wansa, what did you file? Did you file a marriage-based petition or a fiancé visa petition or what? Because 8 months is really not that long of a wait for any type of family-based petition, right? Even fiancé visa, I think the longest I saw for fiancé visa was 14 months, right? So that being said, if you've been waiting for 8 months for a petition, National Benefit Center is where they're processing it. So you go from there. Okay. Let's see the next question, or it's still the same one. Okay. Let me see. How long does it take to get approved? Well, as if I knew that somebody was going to ask that, right? I just said it. Could take up to, it's supposed to be about a year. Imagine that the first step, which your fiance does, takes 6 months, and then the next step takes another 6 months. In the perfect world, right? So that's 12 months. Well, it doesn't always work out that way. So sometimes, Wanta. Okay, I tried pronunciation. Well, thank you. I'll keep working on that. It's because M and W together. Mwah. That's so cool. Where are you from? Where's that name from? That's cool. I'm from Nigeria myself, so that's where my entire passion for immigration comes from. Because I had to go through this same process with y'all to finally become a U.S. citizen. So imagine, you come in as a fiance on fiance visa. There are different ways to come in, right? Fiance visa being one of them. Some people come in as students, whatever. Now you end up married to your citizen. You get your green card. You do all that process, and then from there you go to get your citizenship. It's basically like that's how before you finally are done, like years to now finally become a U.S. citizen. So yeah, but anyway, that's it about timeline. So I'll get back into some of the things I have to talk about for fiancé visa. I think the next thing I'm going to touch on is some of the requirements, right? The requirements, that's another big question. So once people know the steps, they're like, okay, fine, lawyer, IFE, thank you so much. Okay, so 2 steps, this, that. So then what documents do I need? What do I have to submit? Like, what do I do? I mean, they practically want me to basically tell them how to do it for free, bro. I'll be like, no. But I can tell you some requirements. Like, you don't have to have a lawyer for some of these things, but it's always good to have some guidance, have a lawyer, someone who's been doing it for several couples. So I've seen some of the things that they ask for, because sometimes we get RFEs too, so I'll say, okay, so this is what they're looking for. So with all those cases and all that knowledge, that will help your own case just move quicker, right? But you don't have to always get an attorney for everything. So don't feel that pressure, right? But it's a great thing. Now, once you're able to put together a persuasive document to say, okay, This is relationship. Don't be providing like things like life insurance. I don't know why that stuff is always like making me just wonder, especially when I see new couples, right? They just jump straight to like things like life insurance to their marriage is real. That oh yeah, so that was part. Like I get that, but you have to just really think, think more simple because these people they don't know you, they don't know you, they don't see you. Everything is done through paperwork, by mail. They send you all these notices until you finally meet them. Sometimes you may not meet them. In this day and age, they've been way reviews, so you may never meet the agent. I guess to decide your entire American future. So, well, you end up meeting them at naturalization because I don't think you can skip that one because you have to take that test and all that. So, but anyway, so you have to, since you're never going to meet them, you have to have enough proof to really convince them once they look at it. That's how they're going to really be convinced that, okay, yes, this relationship is real and they deserve the green card. Like, they're trying to build a family. So you're looking for your intimate details, your nitty-gritty conversations, your, going to get ice cream together, or your mail or your utilities, your phone bills, not necessarily like life insurance. Because if you're just a 20-year-old, 27-year-old, husband and wife, I mean, you're not really that, in real life, that's not really the first thing you're going to jump at. You're going to get health insurance before you start thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to die for sure. I mean, that's inevitable, right? But that's not going to be the main thing that you want to provide for that type of stuff. That's just an example. But for fiance visa, the type of document, you're very welcome on your comment. But anyway, for fiance visa, the type of document you'll be needing would just be related to the fact that number one, you're free to get married, right? You're free to marry because you'll be surprised how many. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. All right, so that was you, right? Okay. So anyway, so that you will, be able to see, be able to show that you're free to marry because you'd be surprised the amount of still married people that have boyfriends that want to bring their boyfriend to the USA. I'm just like, dude, have to divorce fully first. Don't be separated. I mean, so they're like, well, I'm separated, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I get that. You can be legally separated, whatever. But if you want to bring any other person that's not your husband up in here, you have to fully divorce. So you're going to have proof of that you're free to marry. And also that you've met each other at least one time because there's no way. I mean, like I said, you can have your connection all you want over the internet. But if you haven't met in person, it's going to be tough to convince an immigration person that you're not just doing this for a green card. So you have to have a plan. You've seen the person. What if they don't even look like what they look like on the internet? With all the filters and stuff like that. You don't really know what they look like. So, you don't even know if they are tall or short. You've been seeing their torso this whole time. So you want to marry a torso. You want to tell them that, come on, you have to meet the person, make the connection. So proof. How do you prove that? If you traveled anywhere to see them, just provide proof of that. Provide your photographs together, the things you did, all that stuff, right? Then when you come back, because not everyone realistically has the funds to be able to be traveling like that. So every couple is different, like I said. So you can only do one trip, great. And after that, make sure that you're keeping track of all your communications, trying to talk to other family members. Like, I mean, if it's WhatsApp, you WhatsApping other family members. Like, how are you commingling your life? How are you, what's the plan? How do you know that you want to marry this person? Because essentially your fiance is somebody that you want to marry, right? You want to get married. So how can you show that, right? And then obviously proof of U.S. citizenship. Because like I said, only U.S. citizens can file a fiance visa petition. So If you're a permanent resident, you have to wait till you actually become a U.S. citizen to do that. I mean, but nonetheless, you can still file if you do get married. So you can be engaged to a non-citizen all you want as a green card holder, but you just can't do the fiance visa. You can just get married. Like try to meet them somewhere else and get to know them. Because please don't marry somebody that you haven't met in person first. Don't just marry over the I don't know virtual marriage. I don't know because marriage is it's not only just a physical contract; it's a spiritual contract as well. So if you're going to be co with somebody, spirit, soul, and body, better know what you're doing. Okay. All right. So I think we discussed everything that we have today as far as like fiance visa goes. So I'm going to see if there are more questions and comments I can go through. Thank you all so much for sticking with me till the end. My name is Ivy, the marriage green card lawyer. I'll be here live every week, Thursday or Friday, maybe Fridays. But either way, just subscribe to my channel, follow me on TikTok or wherever you watch me from so that you can know when I go live and we can chat, okay? Sometimes I like to have some of you on my live. So if you want to join my lives, just reach out. Maybe you can send us a text or just however you want to reach out, just so that we can let you know. Maybe you reach out to ICE. ICE will figure out a way to get people who want to join lives, because then we can just add people to the lives. Let's all just right. Let me hear your questions live. This is taken away from human interaction, and it's getting like the other day I was trying to buy a dinner, and my daughter was like, just like I don't even know why I'm just so pained about DoorDash. It's so convenient. I use it like all the time. Every time I'm using it, I'm just like, ugh. Because you're spending all this money on this delivery. But she was like, just DoorDash is easy. I was like, nope, I'm going to drive over there. I haven't paid in cash because I wanted to really just interact with people. Like, what are we doing over this computer, right? So that being said, feel free to join us on our lives. Okay, Nana, you want to join my live all the time? So great. Let us know. Reach out by text. If you're in Africa, you can still WhatsApp us on that number, and we'll try to add you on our lives, or at least you'll know we're going live maybe on Thursdays or Fridays. But like I said, it might be Fridays, but at least once a week, I'll come on here. I'll answer your questions about filing your marriage-based green card, and all that stuff. And then we'll go from there. Okay? All right. Yeah, so I think that's it for this live. Join me again on TikTok. I typically just go there to do fun stuff, sing, cook. I have all these hobbies and things that I do in my house. So if you want to see all that stuff, join me on TikTok. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to call it a day for today's live. It's still early where I'm at, Eastern time zone. For some of you, many of my clients are in California. I know you're just probably still waking up. So if you're watching this at a different time and you want to file your marriage-based green card, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the video. My name is Ivy, the marriage green card lawyer. I will see you next week. All right. Bye.